Nothing called, and Michigan still scrambling. It's a goal. Michigan finally somehow got it in the net to tie the game.
Boyle with Marchand in the zone. Scores! Marchand does it again!
Welcome back to On the Blue Line. Today we'll be breaking down 3 NHL games from over the weekend, including the Rangers' loss to the Leafs, the Bruins' awful loss to the Islanders, and the Bruins' big win against the Leafs.
The first game we'll be getting into is the Rangers against the Leafs in Toronto. It started off a little slow, but then Lafreniere scored around the midway point of the period to make it 1-0 off a pass from Fox.
Then for the rest of the period, the Rangers played decent defense, and Igor Shesterkin was solid in net like how he's been doing.
Yeah.
He's like how I was talking with Burke last week. Like Shesterkin has just, since the All-Star break, he's just been really, like, he's been on point.
Yeah, he's feeling himself again. He's starting to feel kind of like that 2021-2022 season form. And even last season, he was solid, just not like quite as good as his Vezina season was.
Yeah, and then in the second period, started off much better for Toronto as Marner scored off a pass from Matthews to make it 1-1.
Yep.
And then less than a minute later, Trocheck scored from Lafreniere and Panarin to give the Rangers the lead once again.
And then after some back and forth from each team up and down the ice, Nylander scored his 33rd goal this season to tie it at 2. And then the rest of the period was taken over by the goaltending and defense. And then we went to the third, tied at 2.
Then the third started off in the Leafs' favor when Tavares scored on a tip shot from Yarncroc to give the Leafs the first lead of the game. I thought it was actually a pretty good tip by.
It was nice.
Yeah, it was a good tip by Tavares. He's always been like a good tipper. Like he also has a great shots though. Like for like how old he is, he's still pretty good.
Good face-off guy.
Very good face-off guy. But with the goalie pulled, Trocheck would score to send the game to OT, where each goalie's dominated, especially Samsonov, to send it to a shootout. The Leafs would win it in a 4-round battle to take the extra point. But it was a great game. It was just a back-and-forth game.
Yeah.
It was like it just didn't come out in the Rangers' favor.
Yeah, shootouts are tough. I mean, they're a little bit luck-based.
It depends on how hot the goalie is and how good your shooter is.
It's very like individualized in terms of like each player and each goalie.
Yeah. Now let's get into our next game, where the Bruins went to the island and played the Islanders. This game was pretty much over in the first period, where the Islanders scored 3 goals from Kyle Palmieri with he had a natural hat trick.
Yeah, it was sick.
I wasn't watching, but like I just kept my phone, like my phone just kept buzzing. I'm like, what? How did Palmieri score like a natural hat trick in like 10 minutes?
It was kind of crazy.
Yeah. The second period started off with another goal from the Islanders. This time it was from Anders Lee, assisted by Pajot and Kyle Palmieri. And then that gave Kyle Palmieri his 4th point of the night.
It's so random for like a guy like Palmieri. I know he's a solid player, but not natural hat trick and 4 points guy.
He was like, I haven't heard his name in so long until this game.
Like 3 years ago on the Devils was the last time I heard the name Kyle Palmieri.
Exactly. Like
it's so random.
It's just some guys just have their nights, you know?
Yeah. And then Brock Nelson scored his 28th to make it 5-0 Islanders. But shortly after, the Bruins would get on the board with a Mark Laughlin goal.
I'm pretty sure it was his first goal as a Bruin. He wasn't supposed to play against the Islanders. He was just brought up as an emergency player just in case, because There was 2 players hurt, Brazo and I think Grizzlick.
Yeah.
But it was just a good. It was. Like I said, I didn't see the game, but I saw the highlights. It was a pretty good goal though.
Yeah. And then the third period would be scoreless, with the Islanders taking a dominating upset win, and Ullmark was pretty bad, 21-26. You know, he's the backup. You could call him a number 2 goalie. But he's the backup. Right now.
They go every other, so I wouldn't really call him the backup.
I mean, like, in terms of how he's playing.
No, I know, but like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't call him the backup because he's just they go every other. They're 50-50 right now.
I mean, I don't mean like, I'm saying like he should be the backup.
Yes, he should be.
Yeah.
Like
I
this
feel like
last
Swayman
year,
needs more games.
they were even.
Yeah,
this
last year they were more even.
Swayman has the upper hand on him.
Yeah, but they kind of like have traded off years.
Yeah,
of like who's playing better. Like the year before last, Swayman was the guy.
Yeah,
and then last year it was Ullmark. Now it's Swayman again. So,
but I think for the trade deadline, I think Ullmark might be traded.
Yeah, I think Ullmark's gone.
But like, who knows though? Like, with all these like trades that have happened in the like few days now, like who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah. All right, let's get into our last game, which is the Bruins facing the Leafs. The game started off kind of back and forth until Pastrnak ripped one that was tipped in by Geeky for the opening goal.
Geeky's been on fire lately. He's had a point in the last, I think, 3-4 games. He's just on point every game.
I've said it from the start of the year, like ever since we started talking about the Bruins, and I said that Geeky was a steal. I said that he was a very underrated pickup for the Bruins, and he's just showed that.
Yeah, from Seattle.
From Seattle, yeah.
Like, he wasn't that good on Seattle, but as a bottom 6 forward, playing maybe on the second line some nights.
Yeah.
He's doing his job and he's getting his job done, and that's what's helping the Bruins win. That helped the Bruins win this game.
Yeah, I think he's a big factor in the Bruins' success right now, at least.
And then 2 minutes later, Pastrnak would get another point from an assist from Pavel Zacha to make the game 2-0.
Yeah. The rest of the period was scoreless, and giving the Bruins a 2-goal lead going into the second.
Then 5 minutes later, Jake DeBrusk would score to make it 3-0, assisted from Charlie Coyle and Brad Marchand. The defense of the Bruins and the goaltending from Swayman was just amazing in this game. Everything for the Bruins in this game was amazing. Like, this was the best Bruins hockey I've probably seen them play in months.
Yeah.
Or like a month, actually. Like, they've just been losing. They've just been going to overtime, shootouts, and losing constantly. Like, they're 32nd in the league in overtime goal differential. Like,
yeah. It's rough.
They're awful in overtime, and they're going to need to step it up if they want to win. Well, I mean, playoffs, it's 5-on-5, but like, it's still overtime, and like,
yeah, it's
different though.
Playoff overtime, it's a completely different animal.
Yes, but like,
it's
they're still not
like
good in overtime. They suck in overtime.
Well, they're not really the fastest team.
No, but they have skill. They just can't score in overtime.
And then Tavares scored relatively early in the third to give him goals in back-to-back games, make it 3-1. Like I said, I think, like we were talking about in the game against the Rangers, the Leafs played, I think Tavares is you can consider him underrated now at this point, because people don't really talk about him anymore. They think he's just this like old, grizzled veteran who's not really doing anything, but he's pretty impactful for the Leafs right now.
Yeah, but then halfway through the third, Zacha would score his second of the night, and Pastrnak would get his third assist to make the game 4-1, which would eventually be the final score. The Bruins won with Swayman stopping 32 of the 33 shots that he faced. Like I said,
absolute beast.
Like I said, he was just, the whole Bruins team was just amazing in this game. Yeah. And like I said, like, this is the best Bruins team I've seen. Like, this is playoff Bruins from last year, even though they lost, or playoff Bruins from 2 years ago but they're just that was a really good game for them, and they're gonna have to keep doing that if they want to make a shot at the cup.
Yeah. Real quick, like before we close it out, I want to talk about the Rangers and who you think they're gonna get for the wing. I've been hearing Jake Gensel, which is kind of crazy.
I don't
think the Penguins would want to trade him to a division rival.
So I don't think Gensel is going to go to the Rangers. I think I've been seeing a lot of things that he's going to Vancouver.
Yeah.
And then Vancouver is going to send Elias Lindholm to Boston. And then Boston, I saw this morning, that Boston's going to send Jake DeBrusk to Pittsburgh. So it's a 3-team deal, but I don't know if...
Is that finalized?
No, it's not finalized.
It's just rumors.
But it's rumors. But obviously, rumors sometimes they're not true.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing yesterday about the 3-team trade. But then I heard late last night that Vancouver was out on Gensel. Because
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was from some Vancouver inside, like specifically a guy who does Vancouver.
Yeah,
and apparently it's just the Rangers and the Canes, but I think it's more likely to be the Canes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a Rangers Penguins.
A lot of sources have been saying that he's also going to a playoff team. So
yeah,
those 4 teams or 3 teams, I mean, are all playoff teams: the Rangers, Canes, and Vancouver.
Yeah.
So, and then let's also to stay on the trade deadline. Let's talk about Vegas getting Noah Hannafin. Their defense is amazing now. Like that's a scary top defenseman crew that they have now.
Everyone is saying like Vegas didn't need him, but we need to talk about how bad Vegas was for like a month.
Yeah, they
were pretty awful.
But I'm not gonna blame it on defense. I'm gonna blame it on goaltending. Aiden Hill is brutal,
and he was such like a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Like from the start of the year.
Last year in the playoffs, he was amazing.
Yeah, I think he just had a little bit of a slump.
Yeah, but like I said, and Vegas, I saw yesterday before Hannafin was traded. I saw that he was only or Vegas only had them. Was only in the Noah Hannafin sweepstakes for only a few hours, and then I saw the trade, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And they gave away their first round pick, which is not bad because Hannafin's, I would say, is the top 15 defenseman in the league.
Yeah, for sure.
But now they're the Vegas defensive crew, the top 4 is just amazing,
ridiculous.
Pietrangelo, Fedor, Hannafin, and I forget the last one, but those top 3 right there that's just big.
Huge.
So that's going to do it for this week on the Blue Line. Thanks for watching. See you next week.